guys, some stupid sketch show guy here with another video, and today's video is going to be a collection update, something I have not done in a very long time, over a year in fact. And originally I was going to make the collection update yesterday, however my voice was too strained. I've been sick all week, but I think now it's just good enough to where I can actually make this video. So without further ado, let's do this collection update. I'll basically treat it as if you've never seen my collection before, because it's just been that long. I feel like I might as well just reintroduce everything. And one more thing. How about that? Now let's get into the collection. So the first thing we're gonna be showing off is these few special Mattel figures. These figures were too big to go on the other Mattel shelf, and also I just think they're better than most of the other Mattel figures I do own. This isn't the last time you'll see a couple special big Mattel figures, but for now, here is the Thrash and Throw T-Rex, Control and Conquer Carnotaurus, Bull Rex, and my two Amber Collection Velociraptors for that shelf. And then as I get on my chair and try not to break my back, here is a miscellaneous model shelf. This is for all the Ankylosaurids, Pachycephalosaurids, and Sauropods. They all just go here because they're too small to really be their own shelves, but they work nicely together. My personal favorites include this Schleich Dracorex. I've always loved the colors on that thing. This Carnegie Apatosaurus, because look how silly this boy looks. And the Collecte Deluxe Mamenchisaurus, which is so big and long that it sticks outside the shelf, and I like how that looks. And also in the back we have the Collecte Borealipelta, Safari Limited Sauropelta, and Terabibatata Margosaurus, just sitting there in the back behind these mighty giant dinosaurs. Pretty nice and fresh. At the top here, we have the Raptors Shelf, which is a little misleading because we do have the Safari Limited Coelophysis and the Schleich Tawa on here, but they look enough alike that they can fit on this shelf. There's also these two Safari Limited Velociraptors, separated by over 25 years. Kind of crazy to think how far Safari Limited has come. Also, the Carnegie Velociraptors, including this one, the Feathered Velociraptor, which is very bittersweet because this is the last model ever made by Safari Limited Carnegie, and it kind of goes to show that they really did go out with a bang. And also over here, we have the Beast of the Mesozoic Xenuon Long, which is the only Beast of the Mesozoic Raptor I do own. And honestly, it's a great figure. It can't stand on its own, but besides that, you know what? I think it's a nice little piece. Has given me some pretty nice photos, even ones liked by the creator himself. Down here, we have the Tyranosaurids Shelf, which, compared to the collection update I did back in September of 2020, this one has changed the most. We have all our old classics. We got Lucius, the white Tyrannosaurus, repainted by Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, but we also have the Safari Limited Gorgosaurus, which is one of 3 figures I bought from my good friend King Kaiju. The other 2 are also on the shelf. Noasaurus, I don't know, really, there's no other name for it, just Noasaurus from A Dinosaur Story. And in the back there is the Terabibatat Tyrannosaurus Rex, also given to me by King Kaiju. There's a couple other nice classics back here. Overall, a nice shelf, and I'm glad to say that I added a few extra good Tyrannosaurs. Down here, even though I haven't changed it very much, I've always loved the Paleozoic Shelf, especially this orange Ankylosaurus. It's probably one of the best Paleozoic figures I've ever seen. I mean, just look at this beautiful boy. It's absolutely gorgeous. Also, we have the Bullyland Dimetrodon, which is a nostalgic favorite, and we have the Collecte Deluxe Dimetrodon Anasteminasuchus, both great figures. I love both of them very dearly. Just a great, nice collection of underrepresented creatures that deserve better. And now as we get down from the chair, and soon we'll have to get back up it soon enough, we go over to the Ceratopsian Shelf, which is probably the biggest of the shelves. And, I mean, can you blame me? Look at all these beautiful guys. In the back here, we got some smaller Ceratopsians, and this little Psittacosaurus repaint I did that I'm oddly proud of, even though I don't have a lot of artistic talent. The Xenoceratops by Collecte is a personal favorite. The Safari Limited Regaliceratops, the Collecte Diabloceratops, some nice little Carnegie figures. And the Beast of the Mesozoic Zuniceratops, that's the only other Beast of the Mesozoic figure I do own, but you know what? It's a nice cheap figure, only $30. I might get another one soon enough. Also, we got a few other classics like this Carnegie Triceratops, The Schleich Diabloceratops, I think, is a very good figure. A surprisingly good one coming from Schleich. I mean, compared to these other ones by Safari Limited and Collectate, it holds up really well. And in between them, my two favorite co-figures. And also, this weird classic, the Sakuta Habe Triceratops, a very unique figure amongst this collection of usually scientifically up-to-date figures. This one, I think, has some classic vintage flair. And at the very end there, we got the biggest and baddest of them all, the Collectate Deluxe Styracosaurus. I still love this figure after so many years. It's lovely. Here we have the small Theropod shelf, which used to be absolutely huge, but it's gotten a bit of shrinkage. We have a bunch of little dinosaurs back here and little dragons. These things are just knickknacks, honestly. We have these two Raptor knockoffs, which I don't know why I bought these ever. We have a bunch of nice little small theropods over here. A few favorites would be the Terabibatat Cryolophosaurus. That's always been one of my favorites. The Safari Limited Acrocanthosaurus. This repaint thingy, I just call him Cocaine Allosaurus. It's not really a smooth name. The PNSO Spinosaurus is another personal favorite over here, along with the Safari Limited Therizinosaurus. That one has some vintage flair as well. And at the very end, we have this Papocompsognathus, which is surprisingly big. It is actually the tallest of these small theropods, despite being the smallest species. Yeah, small compy, I don't think so. Over here, though, this one is definitely aching for some extra space. We have the medium to large theropods, and theropod is a pretty loose term. We have the Nushjungasaurus, which I guess is a theropod. I mean, Therizinosaurids are theropods. The Salvat Acrocanthosaurus and the Terabibatat Acrocanthosaurus. I think the Salvat Acrocanthosaurus is one of the weird few knockoffs that actually stands on its own. We have Billy the Dimension Hopper, this terrible repaint I've never really finished. The Mojo Baryonyx is also a nice, lovely classic here. I do like how it beams off the blue lights here. It's just a shame that the paint chips really easily. And the most recent figure I got for this Theropod shelf is the Schleich Baryonyx, which you may have seen in the Dinosaur Protege. The rest of these guys you've seen in all the other collection updates. These are classic figures that I've used a lot on my channel, including this Therizinosaurus repaint, which you can also find on the Dinosaur Protege. It's overall just a classic shelf with a lot of just readjusted figures. And then as we go up here, this is the other miscellaneous shelf. Most of this includes just non-dinosaurs, with the exclusion of pterosaurs, which are up here. But as well as that, it does include a few dinosaur species, ornithopods like this Fukuisaurus, which is a more recent purchase, the Carnegie Oviraptor, and some hadrosaurs like the Parasaurolophus is here. And weirdly enough, some Godzillas. These are the only two Godzillas I own, but I didn't know where else to put them, so I put them in Miscellaneous. And also this weird little guy, which, well, he's not really little. I mean, look at how tall he is. I bought him at a comic convention, and he has a sculpted-in saddle. I've always liked him. I mean, you've seen him in a couple of videos. He's a nice, well, why do I keep saying little? He's not really a little guy at all. He's one of the few Chinosaurs that I really can say I like displaying with the rest of my model figures. I think he holds up nicely. And then, as we get back onto the giant chair, brace myself over here, we have the Pterasaur and, well, whatever the heck you call Archaeopteryx and all the other species shelf. It's basically just winged prehistoric creatures. And even that isn't exactly a fully accurate term. We got a bunch of old classics on here, such as, well, Sketchy. This is what used to be my channel mascot. Sketchy, the Archaeopteryx. We got the Safari Limited Archaeopteryx, and we got a few mythical creatures. We have the Safari Limited Phoenix and the Safari Limited Golden Dragon. And at the very end here is the Collectate Deluxe Hetegopteryx, which, although I bought him almost 2 years ago, is probably the most recent figure I've introduced to this shelf. Bought him from a good friend of mine. And then as we get down here, again, trying not to break the back, we go over to the Cenozoic Shelf. And the Cenozoic Shelf has been unchanged ever since the last video. But you know what? I still like it a lot. I've always loved the Collectate Andrewsarchus and the Collectate Deluxe Gombotherium. In general, Collectate just makes a lot of very nice Cenozoic creatures. There's a few more in the back there, such as the Arsinoitherium and also the Pappy-Woolly Rhinoceros. Bunch of nice little guys over here. Random picture of the Little Rascals. That's not Cenozoic related. That just happens to be there. Pointers if you actually watched that show when you were younger. Some prehistoric horses. including this one, the Meropus, which is my personal favorite, and the Eophodon which I got from the same guy who got me the Hatzegopteryx. Pretty nice stuff. Then the last stuff on the main shelves here, and luckily I have a step stool for this, is the Mattel shelf. This basically covers most of the other Mattel figures I have that are not in the drawer forever rotting for eternity. A lot of good classics. We got the Metriacanthosauruses, we got the small Proceratosaurus, the Solaris, these guys I've always liked, the Troodon, and at the very end, the Suchomimus, and the only Amber Collection figure here is the Pteranodon. I originally had it with the other 5, but it kept on just getting displaced and falling down because, little known thing, those 5 figures do sometimes just fall and crash everywhere, so I wanted something more stable for this guy's wings. And at the top here, we go back to the very beginning with the Kenner shelf. Got a bunch of nice little classic dinosaur figures, a lot of Chaos Effect, some Pachycephalosaurus with capture gear, Velociraptorix, some Kenner Triceratops, and at the very end we have a juvenile T-Rex, which I wish I could get better. There we go, that's more like it. He is the tallest guy here, and behind him we have some Dimetrodons and the Chaos Effect Pteranodons. I've always liked this figure, even though it's probably been years since he's been taken off the display. And again, a lot of figures, I can say that with confidence. And while this isn't really a shelf, there's a few other Mattel figures, and this is what I like to call the rocking chair gang. And these are all the Mattel figures that were too big to even fit on the other shelf because they were taken up by those guys. So, with no other real place to put them, I decided to put them on my rocking chair. I haven't really rocked on this thing in a long time, but, you know, they're occupied by these guys. The Real Feel Mosasaurus, the Destroy and Devour Indominus, the Legacy Collection Apatosaurus, and the Camp Cretaceous Spinosaurus. All figures that I've bought since that collection update. So yeah, this is a completely new thing. I don't know. Comment down rocking chair shelf gang if you got this far and you like these guys. Let's keep that going. And last but certainly not least, you knew this was coming, the favorite shelf. The favorite shelf hasn't changed too much, but I've added a few more favorites to it. At the very edge here, we got one of those. We have the Batat Styracosaurus, which I love to death. It is another great rare figure that I've always liked. And I don't like this Batat figure as much, the Batat Carnotaurus, and the reason why I say that is because it's actually very flaky, like it's actually losing paint. If we look closely here, if I could get into focus. Yeah, on the neck area, it's chipping paint, and I really hate that. I really do. So, yeah, no me gusta on that part, but it's still a nice rare figure that I'm happy to have. We got the Toyway Utahraptor, which is a classic. The PNSO Gamba, the Carcharodontosaurus, is probably the biggest and best new addition to this collection. I've always absolutely loved this guy. And also here we have the Safari Limited Dinosaurs of China Mamenchisaurus, which I'm not sure if that was in the last collection update, but if not, here it is. Say hi to this long boy, which is ruining my camera focus. Yeah, absolutely love that. Then along here, we got all the old favorites. We have the Papa Limited Edition Spinosaurus, we have the Carnegie Giganotosaurus, the Carnegie Diplodocus, the Papo T-Rex Sylveon, for some reason. I don't know, I just put her there. I don't know, for all you Pokemon fans, I guess that's a treat. The Carnegie Brachiosaurus, the Firebeak, and my 2 T-Rexes, the Hasbro Bull Rex and the Thrasher T-Rex, both absolutely amazing. And right below here, we have the last couple. We have the Carnegie Sinraptor, the Batat Oranosaurus, and the Toyway Postasuchus, which is the very end of this. Oh, actually, one more thing. We also have the Batat Pachycephalosaurus, which I am displaying in a raft for some reason, and his little buddy, the Kenner Spitting Dilophosaurus. I don't know why they are together, and I don't know why I put them in a raft, but I just thought it worked. I don't know. Rowboat, yay! And there we go. That is my entire dinosaur collection. I did do this all in one take, so I apologize for any stuttering, voice cracks, or bird squawking that appeared in this video. But here it is, in all its glory, my entire dinosaur collection. It's been a while, but the main reason why I didn't really make a dinosaur collection update before is because I really slowed down in collecting by the time I made that video. But with these new LEDs, I thought it was a great excuse to show them off, and also just the few other figures that I've gotten ever since then. I'm not really as much of a collector anymore because, well, I've gotten all the figures I've really wanted. But you know what? I still love these figures. I still do everything with them. Don't worry, I don't hate the figures now. I just think I've gotten enough of them, you know? So that's why I'm not really getting as many as I used to. But I think that just comes with age, you know? I love these guys, don't need as many as I used to, and I will be taking pictures with these things and hopefully making videos with them for as long as I want, as long as I'm having fun. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you guys on the flip side.